Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing great. Today's video we're going to make whole wheat bread. Now this whole wheat bread is a easy recipe. We're not going to knead it for a long time. This is a no knead bread recipe. So all we need to do is activate the yeast, mix it in with the flour and the rest of the ingredients, proof it, second proof it, and then bake it. It's a simple recipe guys, and if you have never baked bread before as well, this recipe is for you too. Now do give this recipe a try. Now if you want to see how I bake this recipe, let's watch the video. The ingredients that we require for our bread are, I've taken 400 grams of whole wheat flour. If you're measuring with a 120 gram cup, it will come to around 3 cups and 1/4 cup. 3 and 1/4 cup. And then I've taken 2 tablespoons of melted butter. I've taken 4 teaspoons of jaggery, 1.5 teaspoon of salt, and 1.5 tablespoon of active dry yeast. And I also have taken 350 ml of lukewarm water. So these are the ingredients that we require for making our bread. The first thing I'm going to do is take a little bit of water from the water we've measured, and I'm going to add in, it's lukewarm water guys, and then I'm going to add in our jaggery. And once I mix the jaggery well, I'm going to add in the yeast. Since we're using active dry yeast, we need to bloom the yeast first, or activate the yeast first before adding it to the dough. If you're using instant yeast, you can directly add it to the flour as well, but just make sure that you don't add salt and yeast at the same place. So I'm just going to let it proof. So I'm going to leave it here for around 5 to 10 minutes till the yeast activates. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is, I've taken salt and I'm going to mix it with our flour. I'm going to mix this in. Now if you see, the yeast is activated, and if you see the bubbles, can you see that? The bubbles, this shows that the yeast is activated. I'm going to pour this into our whole wheat and salt mixture. On top of this, I'm going to add in our leftover lukewarm water, and I'm going to mix this in together. Now I need a little bit more water in this. If you see, there is a lot of dry flour, so I'm going to add in around 20 ml of water, lukewarm water, and we'll see. I'm going to add in little at a time, just tablespoon, and then we'll see. Okay, a little more. That water will be enough. Now make sure that you take all the dry flour as well from the bottom, and all of it is mixed in with the dough. Now if you see, all the dry flour is also mixed in well. At this point, I'm going to pour in our melted butter inside and just mix it in. We're not going to knead this separately on the counter. We just need to mix all the ingredients, and we're going to just let it rise or double in size, and then we're going to put it in our tin, and then again leave it for 10 to 15 minutes, and then we're going to bake. Now if you see, the oil is mixed well with the flour. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to just cover this, and I'm going to leave it for it to double. It will take around 1 or 1.5 hours depending upon the place that you're living in. It needs to just double in size, and then we're going to punch it down and then put it in our tin for baking. So I'll see you after that. It's about an hour, and I can see that our dough has doubled in size. If you look now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to deflate this, take out all the air from it. And then we're going to pour it into our pan and make it ready for our second proof. So here I've taken a loaf tin. Now if you don't have a loaf tin, you can use a round cake tin as well. The only difference is you'll have a round bread instead of a loaf bread. Now I've buttered the sides of our tin, and I'm going to just put a parchment paper so it makes it easy for the bread to be demolded. And I've just put it in the end, inside, just here. Okay, now I'm going to put the batter into the mold. Into our tin. And then with a spatula, just make sure that you flatten it and spread it evenly. So now that's done. So if you see, I've done that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this and I'm going to let it double in size. So it'll take, now let's see if our dough has doubled. If you see, it's reached the brim. I can show you like that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush it with a little bit of milk. Be gentle. Gently brush it with milk. Now the baking instructions for this would be, we're going to preheat our oven at 200 for 10 minutes and we're going to bake it at 200 for 40 minutes. Now you'll get to know that your bread is baked when you tap on it and it gives you a hollow sound. So we're going to bake it at 200 for 40 minutes. Now our bread is cooked. What I'm going to do is I'm going to demold it when it is hot itself. If we don't do this, what will happen is our bread will turn out to be very soggy. Okay, now if you see, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some butter on the bread when it's still hot. And then I'm going to cover it with another cloth and let it rest till it's cooled completely. So this step is important because otherwise we'll have a hard crust on top. The top portion will become very hard. So when we apply butter and let it rest, we get a softer top. So now let's let it cool before we slice our bread. Now that our bread is cooled completely, we'll slice it. Okay, let's see. Do you see this, guys? How simple was that? So that's it, guys. Our bread is ready, and do give this recipe a try because this is a really simple recipe. And if you do like it, do let me know in the comment section below. If you are looking for no yeast bread, then I do have a few recipes of yeast free bread as well. I'll leave a link to it in the description box below. And thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye.